Right. Once again, we are back. And this time round, we need to make the predictions for these very matches. We are talking about Chelsea, Tottenham, Marseille, Atalanta, Roma, Bayern, Marseille, okay, I've already mentioned Atalanta, Aston Villa, Olympiacos, and of course, the last one, Fiorentina, Club Brugge. So before we get started, of course, it's a good day to be alive, so give thanks to the Almighty. Yeah, and you also need to ensure that you are not waffling when placing bets. The reason why you are losing several of your bets today is because you love waffling. You do not know what you are betting on. You do not understand what you're betting on. You cannot give a reason or you cannot give a reason as to why you are betting on a given game, on a given team. And that to me is waffling. So to avoid waffling, to avoid getting confused when you place your bets, on my screen, there's a QR code, right? On the QR code, which is evident this side, right? You need to scan the QR code and install the official, verified Sofascore app that is up to date. You also have the choice of not installing or maybe searching for it on your own. But understand this is 2024 and computer technology has advanced. And so there is a potential of you downloading a fake app that will result into you falling into scams and wasting your time, resources, kind of stuff, kind of things. Maybe you'll even end up installing a virus. So to avoid all that, I've ensured there's a QR code that once you scan, you will be able to download the best app, the best live score app. And if you are in no position to scan it, there's a link in the pinned comment section. There's a link in the video description. Use either of them and get your app. Time is not on our side, and of course, I'm very tired, given that yesterday I was streaming on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. And then there's this dude, let me get it back to this scene, right? Now, there's a dude on TikTok who decided to bore the hell out of me, right? Imagine streaming for 3 hours. And then out of nowhere, you did not ask for any tip. You did not ask for any money. Somebody decides to send you a tip of $0.1. That is completely disgusting. And I'm completely disappointed. I'm super angry at the moment. That is why today I'm not streaming on TikTok, right? I'm not using the phone. It's just lying down here, right? I don't want to bore myself. Because I realized, guys on TikTok, I'm sorry to say this, but you need to change. Not everyone will ask you to send them $0.1. And of course, if you want to send money, there are better ways of sending money. You can DM me on Instagram, on my email, and say, much better. I need to appreciate you. You can even use the super thanks button on YouTube and send decent money that can be withdrawn. $100, $500, $1,000, $10,000. Of course, I will appreciate. Right. But do not go ahead and spam my live stream sending me $0.1 because there is no way I'm going to withdraw that. Of course, it's TikTok. I'm not a fan of TikTok. So guys on TikTok, you change on that. Once you change on that, I'll resume live streaming on TikTok. At the moment, you are doomed. Guys on YouTube, I know you're watching these. I'm also working on preparations, mechanisms to ensure that I at least have live streams on YouTube kind of now and then. Maybe even every single day because I enjoy live streaming. It's fun and there's no pressure. You just drink water. Of course, let me pour some, right? You just drink water and you'll be talking, giving out predictions, analyzing matches, making money, and But do not attempt to be like the guys on TikTok. Because when you decide that, I'll of course get mad, get bored, and you will need to pay for that. So back to our video. Chelsea-Tottenham, the first game. Premier League game. On the Sofascore app that you've just installed, the odds for Chelsea are visible 2.30. 2.30, okay? And then the odds for draw, we have 3.80. The odds for Tottenham winning, we have 2.80. Right. I'll click on the game, I'll click on the match, and we will quickly advance to the matches section. You already know when you get to this section, you first need to go through the head-to-head streaks. After going through the head-to-head streaks, you need to have a look at the head-to-head matches, maybe the last 3, maybe the last 5. And then after that, you need to go to the team streaks section. So let us get through that, right? I'll scroll it down, head-to-head streaks. When you scroll down, you realize that Sofascore has focused on the option of first team to score, because that is where they seem to find a streak when Chelsea and Tottenham plays each other. So first team to score, Chelsea 1.67 odds. No first goal, 29 odds. Tottenham to score first, 2.05 odds. So it's up to us to figure out which team is or which streak actually is, because right now, you don't know which team is going to be scoring first. You do not know that. It's only highlighted for us to focus on it, right? So without clean sheet, we realize when Chelsea was playing Tottenham, in their last 3 head-to-head matches, 3 of the games, Chelsea conceded a goal from Tottenham. And it's evident. Of course, they conceded this one, they conceded in this one, and they conceded in this one. And then first to score, we had Chelsea scoring first in 7 of the last 9 head-to-head matches between these two teams. So at this very point, you can say that Chelsea, at least they are trying, and they stand a chance of scoring a goal against Tottenham, right? They stand a chance of scoring a goal against Tottenham. That is the only conclusion I have made when I've gone through the head-to-head streaks, because you have a 4-1, 2-0, 2-0. Yeah, so we can say that when Chelsea plays Tottenham, Chelsea stands a chance of scoring a goal. You need to understand that, and you need to take it seriously. Okay? Next thing. Now, the next thing that we need to go through is the team streaks. In the team streaks, when you go through the team streaks, you realize that Sofascore has narrowed it down to the over 2.5 market or under 2.5 market, and it is upon us to determine which of the two is actually having the streaks. So we realize that Chelsea, in their last 3 games coming into these, they have recorded no wins. I think we have 1 draw, then 2 losses. Yeah, 2-2 draw, 5-0, 1-0 loss. That is the Chelsea we are having coming into these. Then we have the next stat to look at. Chelsea, in their last 3 games coming into these, they have conceded goals from their opponents. So they have a shaky defense at the moment. Tottenham, in their last 6 games coming into these, they have conceded a goal. So which means they're also conceding goals. At this very point, you can expect both teams to concede goals from each other, right? And then Chelsea and Tottenham, when we look at their last 10 games coming into these, 9 of them ended in over 2.5 goals for both teams. So we can say that the streak that is actually to be focused on is over 2.5 goals, and you already know that. And so the final thing that we have to look at is the both teams scoring. For Tottenham, I do not know why my laptop decided to automatically refresh the page, So both teams scoring for Tottenham. In the last 5 games coming into these, 4 of them, we witnessed Tottenham matches ending in BTTS being a yes, right? Perfect. So at this very point, having factored in the team streaks information and the head-to-head streaks, when we went through the head-to-head streaks, we realize that there is a potential of Chelsea scoring a goal. And then when you go through the team streak section, the head-to-head streak section, the team streak section, this is what I'm talking about. When you go through the team streak section, you realize that there is a potential of over 2.5 goals, and there's also a possibility that Tottenham is going to be conceding a goal, Chelsea is going to be conceding a goal. So, at this very point, I'm thinking of both teams to score, yes, and I'm also thinking of over 2.5 goals. The only thing we need to focus on, or maybe put emphasis on, is understanding the importance of this match for both teams. And to understand that, we'll need to go through the standings, in which we realize that Tottenham, they are 5th with 60 points, which means that if they are to win their next 2 games, then at least they stand a chance of playing or of qualifying for the Champions League. So I do not know if that is really, really one thing they're looking forward to achieve, but I believe it's something they're looking forward to have, qualifying for the Champions League spot, because Europa is not really encouraging. When you look at Chelsea, they're coming in 48. They also have a few games to go. That is 38. I think 2 more games to go. Yeah, we have Chelsea coming in next. They also kind of stand up. They also kind of stand the ability of playing in the UEFA Conference League, but they love to rely on other teams losing, and especially they love to rely on Man United, Newcastle losing their games, right? Which is also highly likely. So having that into consideration, we know that Chelsea are playing at home, and so they kind of enjoy the home ground factor. Let me refresh this. Yeah, they kind of enjoy the home, the home support. That is why you see this. Surely. Now, you're going to tell me that you'll have to be refreshing automatically. Okay, let me narrow it down to 165. Surely. I do not know why that happens. I hate these. I love the other one, right? But I believe you're able to see these, right? So Chelsea, Tottenham, we were talking about the potential of these games. Let me remove the vote, I did not vote. I was trying to have those things sorted out, right? So in this game, we are not going to be wasting time. We already know the importance, and when you look at the players that are going to be missing, this is Chelsea. We have the likes of, they kind of have a lot of injury concerns. But let me have a look at the starting 11. Right, I understand we need to answer the 3 whys of betting. And so to answer that, let me magnify it so that you can clearly see what I'm talking about. Okay, 175. So there we are. Who is going to be winning? In this game, change the vote, man. I don't know why it's sticking on... I've not yet voted, surely. Will both teams be in a position to score? Yes, that one is right. Who is going to be scoring first? Who's staked on these things? Oh, okay, it was me trying them out, right? Who is going to be scoring first? Chelsea, Tottenham. Expect Chelsea to score first because the head-to-head results, the head-to-head data actually backs them. So I know it's now going to be complicated where we have to bet on who is going to be winning. I expect a winner in this game, and of course, looking at Chelsea and Tottenham and looking at how these two teams have fared on in their recent few games, this is how they've fared on. This is the Chelsea performance in the recent few games. This is the Tottenham performance in the recent few games. This is how they have performed. Tottenham has performed away in their recent few games. And then this is how Chelsea has performed at home in the recent few games in the Premier League. So they kind of have a more stable record at home, unlike Tottenham when they're playing away in the Premier League, right? So at this very point, I do not want to underwrite Tottenham's effort. I really think that when it comes to who's going to be winning, it keeps on sticking on Chelsea winning. Answering the three whys of betting is always hard at times, right? Let us go with a draw, guys. Let us go with a draw. Maybe 2-2 draw, right? Yeah, 2-2 draw. So, the reason why I went for a BTTS or a both teams to score is because when I went through the team streaks, I realized there is a potential of over 2.5 goals. And I also realized that both teams end up conceding goals from their opponents, right? And I also had to factor in the fact that Tottenham in their last 5 games coming into these, in 4 of them, they conceded goals from their opponents. And then when we went through the head-to-head streaks, we had the realization that Chelsea, they've always scored. They have a tendency of scoring fast against Tottenham. And they also have the possibility of getting a goal when they play against Tottenham. That is why we had that, right? Perfect. And who is going to be winning? When you ask me why I'm going for who is going to be winning being a draw, I really think that this is a game that is important for both teams. And because both teams are going to be scoring goals, I do not know who is going to be winning. There's a high likelihood of a 1-1 draw, 2-2 draw kind of thing. And even if there's someone to win, then it's going to be a slight win. So let us navigate to a 1xBet app and have a look at the potential betting outcomes. Where's the Chelsea game? Let me search for it, all right? So looking at Chelsea versus Tottenham, we have a Chelsea double chance priced at 1.469 odds. We have both teams to score priced at 1.31 odds. We have over 2.5 goals priced at 1.29 odds. We have total goals scored by Chelsea priced at 1.1. Okay, over 0.5 goals Chelsea. There's nothing there. There's nothing there too. So there's a Tottenham Hotspur have won just one of their last 5 England Premier League away matches. At least one first half goal has been scored in Tottenham Hotspur last 6 matches. That is an insight provided by 1xBet. So at this very point, I can say that Chelsea vs Tottenham, there's no value bet that I can get from this game. Instead, over 2.5 goals to me seem as the betting market or the betting pick we can work with in this game, right? Yeah, seems to me, because I expect both teams to score, and I expect kind of draw, or maybe either of the teams to be winning, right? So Chelsea-Tottenham, over 2.5 goals is the betting outcome that I'm backing. We now proceed. And remember, over 2.5 goals has 1.29 odds at the moment. Next game is Marseille playing against Atalanta. Let us quickly get to the UEFA Europa League games and have a look at these matches, what to expect. That is Marseille playing against Atalanta. Awesome. We all know that this is going to be the knockout stages, and it's going to be a 2-leg series. There's the first leg. We have Marseille coming up against Atalanta. Marseille have 2.50 odds. Draw to occur as 3.50 odds. Then Atalanta winning as 2.75 odds. So, you know the drill, you know the pattern, you know what you're supposed to do. First, you get through the head-to-head streak section, which in this scenario, we have not been provided. Because these two teams, This is going to be the first time they are meeting under the UEFA Europa League. So there is scarce data to work with. So we have to go with the we have to go with the team streaks. And when we talk about the team streaks, this is what we have to work with. Marseille coming into these, Atalanta coming into these, in their last 3 games, they have 3 wins. And these are the 3 wins we are talking about. We had a 2-0 win, we had a 4-1 win, we had a 2-1 win. And then the next thing to consider is the Marseille side. Marseille coming into these, in their last 4 matches, they have no losses. And this is how the games fared on. We had a 2-1 win, we had a 2-2 draw, 2-2 draw, 1-0 win. Perfect, right? And then we have Marseille coming into these, in their last 3 matches, they conceded goals from their opponents. That was 2-1, 2-2, 2-2, 2-2. Right. And then we have Marseille coming into these, in their last 6 matches, we had 5 of them ending in over 2.5 goals. And for Atalanta, in their last 7 matches coming into these, we had 5 of the games ending in over 2.5 goals. So at this very point, we know that there is a likelihood of this game resulting in a high number of goals, given that both teams have shown the potential of that when we review their last few games. In fact, their last 6 and 7 games, we have 5 of the matches ending in over 2.5 goals. So we're already talking about at least a potential of over 2.5 goals occurring in this game. Then you also realize that Marseille coming into this in their last 6 matches, they had 5 of them ending in both teams to score. Yes. And then for Atalanta coming into these, they were first to score in 6 of their last 7 matches. And then Atalanta, of course, when you look at their last 6 matches coming into these, in 5 of them, they won in first half. So at this very point, we see that goals is a high likelihood in this game. And it is a potential that we really need to factor in seriously. So I'll shift to the tournament and have a look at how they performed in the tournament. This is Marseille's performance in the tournament. We had them eliminating Benfica with a 1-0 win. But before that, they lost 2-1, 3-1. And then this is Atalanta's performance in the tournament. We had them eliminating Liverpool. And that is something that we're not supposed to take for granted, right? So we know that when we look at Atalanta and we look at Marseille at the same time, we can say that Atalanta, they are kind of better in comparison to Marseille. Because they've actually won games, and this is their performance away. This is Marseille's performance at home. At this very point, I really think that this is a game in which we are kind of supposed to be focusing on the full-time winner, because if you go through the team streaks, you realize that Sofascore narrowed it down to the full-time winner. We have 2.50 for Marseille, 3.50 for a draw, and 2.75 for Atalanta winning, right? So, it's going to be easy to answer the 3 ways of betting, and that is what we are going to be doing at this very point. Change this vote. I did not stake on these. Who is going to be scoring first? Atalanta has proven that they are in a position to score goals first, and that is backed by these. First half winner, first to score. So he's going to be scoring first. Atalanta to score first today. Will both teams be in a position to score? Yes, both teams are in a position to score. Remember, if you look at Marseille, their last few games, we have seen 2 of them ending in a 2-2 draw. And then one of them, I think, they had a win, 2-1 win or what? Let me confirm it. Yeah, they had a 2-1 win for Marseille. And if you go through this data, you realize that both teams, in their matches, there's always a trend of over 2.5 goals occurring. And specifically for Marseille, when we look at Marseille, both teams to score occurring 5 times in their last 6 games coming into this is a factor that allows us to actually be in a position to confidently say that we expect both teams to score. So when it comes to who's going to be winning, when I have to answer this question, I am going to be staking on Atalanta to win. Or I'm going to be answering the 3 whys and saying that, to me, in this game, I'm backing an Atalanta victory. Now, having these 3 data to work with, Atalanta to be in a position to win, both teams to be in a position to score, Atalanta to be the first team to score the first goal, we can now advance to the 1xBet app and get to make the prediction for this game. I was forgetting on one thing, but do not worry, I checked on it before this, Atalanta. So on my 1xBet app, we have Marseille vs Atalanta. The odds for Atalanta win or a draw, we have 1.549 odds. The odds for both teams to score, we have 1.69 odds. The odds for over 2.5 goals, we have 1.94 odds. And so it's now time to make the prediction for this very game. So the first betting tip for this very game, we will work with over 1.5 goals for Marseille Atalanta. I believe that is a safe market. And then for the value bet, we are going to back Atalanta win or a draw. And Atalanta win or a draw happens to be having 1.549 odds. That is the first value bet in this video. And so, I do understand the other markets that we can actually venture into, maybe the over 0.5 goals for respective teams, the double chance, 2 or a draw, and over 1.5 goals, which happens to be having 1.99 odds, but I do not want to mix them, I do not want to mix them. They kind of seem a bit different, or I do not want to attach some different outcome to the double chance market, right? So I'll just leave that. Maybe the other market you can focus on is team to win at least 1/2. And when you look at the team to win at least 1/2, you see that indeed this is a game that it's going to be interesting, because the odds for either of the teams winning either of the halves, we have Atalanta winning either of the halves, priced at 1.87. Marseille winning either of the halves, priced at 1.80. So at that very point, you can see that it's indeed a difficult game, and there's a potential of maybe even a draw occurring at full time. But even if a draw is to occur, we talk about a 1-1 draw. That is why over 1.5 goals for the safe market and double chance Atalanta win or a draw, to me, really seems as the best outcome for this game. Perfect, awesome, incredible. We now get to move to the next game, Roma playing Bayer Leverkusen. Roma Bayer Leverkusen, this is what we have to work with. Roma are slightly the underdogs, given an odd of 3.40. Then we have draw occurring priced at 3.60 odds. Then we have Bayer Leverkusen priced at 2.10 odds to win. So it means that we are expecting Bayer Leverkusen to at least be in a position to win this game. Perfect, right. Matches section, if there's head-to-head streaks, that is what we first digest. So head-to-head streaks, this is what we know about this game. Roma in their last 5 games against Bayer Leverkusen, they have not lost any of the matches. And this is what we have. 0-0 draw, 1-0 win in favor of Roma. That was, of course, in 2023 under UEFA Europa League, the same tournament, right? And then we had the last time, that was back in 2015. 3-2 win, 4-4, 1-1. But 2015, a lot of stuff has changed, so maybe the most recent data that you can work with is a 0-0 draw and 1-0 draw that, of course, was in 2023, right? So you already know that. But before we advance to the next section, basing our analysis on the head-to-head streaks, realizing that Roma, in the last 5 games against Bayer Leverkusen, they have not lost any games, we can at least say they have an advantage against Bayer Leverkusen. Even though they are priced slightly as the underdogs, then we can say maybe they know what needs to be done and they will be in a position to actually not lose the game or maybe even score a goal. But let us get to the head streaks. It's head streaks, right? Team streaks, and get a proper understanding of what we are dealing with. Bayer Leverkusen, in their last 50 games coming into this one, they have no losses. Remember, they are unbeaten so far this season. And of course, that is a factor we have to take seriously. They've always have late saviors in their recent few games that allowed them to be unbeaten. And late winnings too. So, Bayer Leverkusen in their last 3 games, no wins. Of course, we have a 2-2 draw, 1-1 draw, and a 1-1 draw. And then we have Roma in their last 4 games coming into this. They have conceded goals from their opponents. And this is what we have to work with. 2-2 draw, 2-1 win, 3-1 loss, 2-1 win. That is Roma coming into this game. And then Roma in the last 5 games coming into this, we had 4 of them, resulting in Roma seeing both teams to score as a yes, right? That is both teams scoring, occurring in 4 of the last 5 Roma matches. So that is what we have to work with under the head-to-head streaks. Okay. Under the team streaks. That is what we have to work with. So it's up to us to digest this information and try to have an understanding of what to expect. We know very well that Bayer Leverkusen are unbeaten, right? In their last 50 matches. But in their last 3 games, they have no wins, right? And then we know very well that Roma, coming into this game, in their last 4 games, they have conceded goals from their opponents. And same for Bayer. In their last 3 games, they have conceded goals from their opponents. And then for Roma, in their last 5 games, coming into these, 4 of them resulted in over 2.5 goals. And in their last 5 games, coming into these, 4 of them saw both teams scoring being positive. So that is what we know. That is what we know. This is the last few games for both teams. Difficult game to me. I know Bayer Leverkusen, I do not foresee a scenario in which they are to be eliminated, but this is the first leg, so not much is going to count. I mean, this is the first leg, they still have the second leg, and what I know is maybe they're going to be looking forward to avoid a lose. From the team streaks, I really can't get a pattern that seems to be working. Both teams scoring. Yes, there is a potential of both teams scoring. Because Bayer Leverkusen in their last 3 games, we have seen the 2-2 draw, 1-1 draw, 1-1 draw, right? So there's the potential of that. Which team is going to be scoring first? That is now a difficult nut to crack. But I expect Bayer Leverkusen to score first. Which team is going to be winning this game? Okay, of course, you know how Bayer Leverkusen has performed this season, and they have proven that they are indeed a team not to joke. And given that it's going to be... Yeah, of course. I don't really think, I know the head-to-head streaks indicate that Roma, they have not lost their last 5 games against Bayer. But even if you look at that, you realize that it's outdated information. The only information you can work with is 0-0 draw and the 1-0 win in favor of Roma. So, the team to win, expect Bayer Leverkusen to win, both teams to score. I expect both teams to score. Which team is going to be scoring first? Bayer Leverkusen score first. Now let us advance to the 1xBet app. and have a look at what we are dealing with in this game. Roma, Bayer Leverkusen, Roma winning. No, not Roma winning. Bayer Leverkusen winning 2.169 odds. Bayer Leverkusen win or a draw, we have 1.344 odds. Both teams to score, we have 1.81 odds. Over 2.5 goals, we have 2.061 odds. Roma over 0.5 goals, we have 1.42 odds. Bayer Leverkusen over 0.5 goals, we have 1.23 odds. Then team to win either of the halves. Roma win either of the halves, 2.22 odds. Bayer Leverkusen win either of the halves, we have 1.60 odds. At this very point, we know that... Now, we have to base our analysis on Sofascore. Remember, when we answered the 3 whys of betting, we inclined our bets or our answers to the Leverkusen side. So it means that we are having our betting angle is already positioned to favor Leverkusen. So, of course, the first betting tip is a double chance by Leverkusen win or a draw. The odd is 1.344. Talking about the second betting tip, I do not have any second betting tip. That is the only betting tip. No value bet for me in this game. To me, it seems super risky. So we advance to the next game. Before we advance to the next game, remember, on the Sofascore app, Team Streaks, they narrowed it down to the full-time winner. So I believe that is where the value lies that is where the betting angle is supposed to be, right? Take note of that. In the head-to-head streaks, there's nothing narrowed down to. In the team streaks, they narrowed it down to the full-time winner. So factor in that in your analysis of the other games that are coming up. And then we have Aston Villa coming up against Olympiacos. Once again, another England Premier League team playing against a Greek team. Aston Villa winning 1.40 odds. A draw occurring 4.75 odds. Olympiacos winning the game, 7.50 odds. So navigate to the matches section. Head-to-head streaks not provided. Which means that this is the first time these teams are going to be playing under the UEFA Europa Conference League. So we need to work with the data that we have. And the data that we have is only available under the team streak section, right? And in this one, they have kind of narrowed it down to the first half winner, which means that there's a highly likelihood that this is a game in which you're supposed to be having a high number of goals, maybe an earlier goal in first half. So let us consume the data and make our analysis of the game. Aston Villa, in the last 6 games coming into this, they have no losses. This is what we have to work with. 2-2 draw, 3-1 win, 2-1 draw, 2-0 win, 2-1 win, 3-3 draw. Kind of incredible to me because they have at least shown that they are in a position to score more than 1 goal in each game. Because to me, this is like, let me just say, Aston Villa at this point, in any game they're playing, whether they're going to be winning or losing, we expect them to deliver at least 2 goals. So maybe over 1.5 goals for Aston Villa side. Second thing, we have the Olympiacos. This is the Olympiacos guy, right? Olympiacos in their last 7 games coming into these, they have no losses. This is what we have to work with. 4-1 win, 1-1 draw, 2-1 win, 1-0. Okay, that is a 1-0 win in extra time. 3-2, 5-1, 3-0. So they're also scoring goals, but we cannot really say that we expect them to be in a position to be like Aston Villa, because Aston Villa, I can confidently say that in any game they're playing, whether favorites, whether they're going to be winning, or whether they're going to be losing, whether they're going to be drawing, I expect them to at least give me 2 goals. For Olympiacos, I cannot say the same. But I expect Olympiacos to at least score a goal. Without clean sheet for Aston Villa in the last 3 games, They have conceded goals from the opponent. How many goals did they concede from the opponent in the last 3 games? 2, 1, 2. Okay, 2, 1, 1. Right. So they are also conceding, right? Then we have our guy, Olympiacos. There's no start for Olympiacos. Olympiacos in their last 6 without clean sheet. So which means that Olympiacos in their last 6 matches, they conceded goals from the opponent. Then we look at Aston Villa once again. More than 2.5 goals occurred in 6 of their last 7 games. Olympiacos, more than 2.5 goals occurred in 5 of their last 7 games. So we say that both teams have the ability of delivering over 2.5 goals in the games in which they feature under, or in the matches in which they feature. Both teams to score for Aston Villa occurred 6 times in their last 7 games. Both teams to score for Olympiacos occurred 5 times in their last 6 games. Once again, it solidifies, or it puts emphasis on the fact that we expect goals from both sides. Then first to score, we have Olympiacos scoring first in 5 of their last 7 games. Olympiacos are winning first half in 5 of their last 7 games. So at this very point, we need to know that when you look at this game, we expect goals from both teams. We expect both teams to find it easier to score goals. And we expect at least over 2.5 goals, right? And also we kind of expect an earlier goal in first half. The number of goals we expect in first half, I cannot say that, but we expect an earlier goal in first half. It's going to be an open game where both teams are supposed to be attacking and both teams are supposed to be conceding. So over 2.5 goals, both teams to score is already the market I'm thinking about. Now, to answer the 3 ways of betting, who is going to be scoring first? Olympiacos indeed are favored to score first because when you go through the team head-to-head, the team streaks, we are in a position to view that they have that tendency, right? But looking at the Champions League match, the Europa Conference League matches, and I know Aston Villa, I'm going to oppose that. And I'll say that Aston Villa are going to score first. Yeah, why? Because Aston Villa, they are the clear favorites to win in this game. Of course, I expect them to win. Let me vote on that. Who will win the game? Aston Villa, right? Come on, it started again. I expect Aston Villa to win the game. Will both teams score? Why can't you just leave me alone for 1 second? Yes, both teams are going to be scoring. I do not know if it's the problem with my Wi-Fi provider or what. Because there's no way this thing can be, There's no way a tab can be automatically refreshing. Come on. Okay, to answer the 3 ways of betting, who is going to score first? Aston Villa score first. Their record this season is so strong to be ignored. Will both teams score? Yes, both teams are going to score. Why? Okay, I know what to do. Go through the matches section, you will see the answer. This is the answer. This is where the answer lies. This is where the answer lies. Aston Villa, we know that they can get at least 2 goals in a game. We know very well that Olympiacos, they can get 1 goal in a game. And so what is remaining? Who is going to be winning? Aston Villa. So we've answered that. We quickly navigate to our 1xBet app and search for the Aston Villa. Aston Villa winning in this game, priced at 1.39 odds, right? Both teams to score, priced at 1.89 odds. Over 2.5 goals, priced at 1.65 odds. Aston Villa over 1.5 goals, priced at 1.46 odds. Olympiacos over 0.5 goals, priced at 1.72 odds. Team 1 result and total over. Aston Villa to win or a draw and over 1.5 goals, priced at 1.31 odds. Aston Villa to win and over 1.5 goals, priced at 1.6 odds. Team to win at least either of the halves. Aston Villa to win at least either of the halves, priced at 1.21 odds. So betting possibilities in this game, we kind of have plenty. First, Aston Villa to win, the odd is 1.39 odds. And I expect Aston Villa to be in a position to at least give me 2 goals in this game, because that is also evident. Look at them. This is them, how they've fared in the tournament. In most of their games, most of their matches, we had Aston Villa getting at least 2 goals. So, Aston Villa win. We already have that one as a betting option, as a betting potential. Right? Second betting potential that we do have is the option of over 1.5 goals in the game, of course. 1.174 odds, which is really safe. Over 1.5 goals. Aston Villa win. And then we have Aston Villa over 1.5 goals, but I won't pick it. Aston Villa win either of the halves. So in this game, we have, I think, 2 safe bets. Aston Villa vs Olympiacos over 1.5 goals. And then Aston Villa to win at least one of the halves. The odd is 1.21 odds. And then there is a value bet in this game. Aston Villa to win and total goals in the game over 1.5 goals. The odd is 1.60. Aston Villa win and over 1.5 goals to be the total goals in the game. Now it's upon you to pick which market you are going to be riding on. But do not worry about that. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you that very help so that you do not have to worry so much. Then, of course, the last game that we have to look at is Fiorentina coming up against Brugge. Right. Fiorentina coming up against Brugge. Okay, what happened? I thought we were on Fiorentina win. I did think we are on Fiorentina. Right. Fiorentina to win, we have 1.75 odds. Draw 3.60 odds. Brugge winning, we have 4.75 odds. Another the matches section, this is what we do have. Team streaks, we do not have the head streaks. So another team streaks, they have narrowed it down once again to the full-time winner. Club Brugge, in their last 7 games, they have won in 7 of them. I'm really interested to figure out the exact scorelines for these 7 matches. 3-0 win, 4-0 win, 2-1 win, 2-0 win, 3-0 win, 1-0 win, 3-1 win. Pretty much incredible. We can say that they are like Aston Villa. We expect them to give us over 1.5 goals in matches in which they are expected to win. Aston Villa in the last 8 games, no losses. Club Brugge in the last 8 games, no losses. Then we have Club Brugge in the last 5 games, 4 of them resulted in over 2.5 goals. And the funny thing is that they were able to maintain, not the funny thing, the important thing is that they maintained clean sheet in 4 of them. And in fact, they were the team that resulted. Okay, they were the side, they were the scoring side. That is what I meant to say. So Club Brugge are indeed a force to reckon with at this very point. That has been proved. Even look at their performance in the tournament. Pretty much incredible. Maintaining clean sheets. Nothing to joke about. So I'm already ranking them and rating them high in this game. Then have a look at the other guy, Fiorentina, coming into this game. In their last 8 games, they had under 2.5 goals in 6 of them. So I already know they were struggling. 5-1 win, 4-1 loss, 2-0 win, 2-0 win, 1-1 draw, 0-0 draw, 1-0 loss. Kind of stuff. I wasn't supposed to click on that. Let me go back. So this is it. This is the Fiorentina guy. Under this tournament, this is how they performed. First to score, we have Club Brugge scoring first in 7 of their last 7 games, which is incredible. They were first half winners in 6 of their last 7 games. So to me, at this very point, having understood very well that in terms of injury concerns, both teams do not have plenty injury concerns to worry about, I'm expecting both teams to be in a position to give their very best. And when we talk about both teams being in a position to give their very best, I expect Club Brugge to perform well and not to lose this game. So, of course, when I'm going to be answering the 3 ways of betting, the data that I have is undeniable. Club Brugge are going to get the first goal. So Club Brugge score first. Will both teams be in a position to score? I kind of doubt Fiorentina. I kind of doubt them because less than under 2.5 goals to me is not convincing. And I look at Club Brugge, the other side, they have been able to maintain clean sheets in their game. So I'll say that Club Brugge not to consider goal from Fiorentina. So both teams not to score. Who is going to be winning the game? I expect Club Brugge to win the game, or at the very least, I expect a draw. So let me vote. After voting, we will get to 1xBet and have a look at what we are working with. Remember, when you go through the matches section, team streaks, the market that we focus on is the full-time winner. Fiorentina, Club Brugge, you're already there. Club Brugge win or a draw, 2.08 odds. I know it's risky, but to me that is a value bet. No negotiations. 2.08 odds. Brugge win or a draw. Both teams to score, we have 1.93. Over 2.5 goals is nothing on that. Total goals scored by 1, total goals scored by 2. Total goals scored by Club Brugge. That is also seems fair, you know. Club Brugge to score a goal in this one. Seems fair. But remember, our guy Fiorentina has a tendency of under 2.5 goals in most of their games. So, you know, looking at Club Brugge and Fiorentina, maybe goals in a row by a single team, by the way. You know, that is a market I always tend to forget. Let me look at that one. Number of goals scored in a row by a single team. I think there's also a value on that one. Number of goals scored in a row by a single team. We have Fiorentina not to score 2 or more goals in a row. The odd is 1.64. It's a bit risky, but it's worth the gamble. Not the gamble. It's worth the risk, given that from our analysis on the Sofascore app, we can evidently say that we expect Club Brugge to be in a position to disrupt a pattern of Fiorentina scoring goals. And we also know that we do not expect Fiorentina to score a goal in this very game. So factoring that into consideration, or factoring that, then I can say that Brugge, okay, Fiorentina not to score 2 or more goals in a row at 1.64 odds is a value bet. And then we have Brugge win or a draw at 2.08 is a value bet. So that is what we have so far in this game. That is what we have so far to work with when we look at this game. So now that we are done with everything, we are done with those stuff, it's now important to quickly sum up the video into the necessary parts, giving you this overview of the value bets that we have narrowed down, and also do a compilation or compile the safe bets and see what we have to work with. Fine. So, yep. Right. So Fiorentina Club Brugge. Right. In terms of value bets, the first value bet that we have is Club Brugge win or a draw. On that one, we had 2.08 odds. This is the Club Brugge win or a draw. 2.08 odds. Club Brugge win or a draw, 2.80 odds. And then the second is Fiorentina not to score 2 or more goals in a row. The odd is 1.61. And then the third value bet, of course, is from the Aston Villa game. Aston Villa win plus over 1.5 goals. The odd is 1.60 odds. The fourth value bet, of course, is from the Marseille vs Atalanta game. Atalanta win or a draw. The odd is 1.549. Now that we're done with the value bets, I think there were only 4 in total. You must realize that those are games that we have analyzed together. Nothing has been waffled. Nothing is backed without analysis, without, let me say, conviction. There are things you've seen me do, and I believe that it's now up to their players to do their role, to do their parts. So we leave that to them. Now, the other part of the video, which happens to be the last part, we are going over the safe bets, giving out the summation. So let's begin with the Olympiacos game, because I remember we had a safe bet in that one too. Olympiacos, Aston Villa. We had Aston Villa win at least 1/2. Then we had over 1.5 goals. So looking at Aston Villa, Olympiacos, for the safe bet, I'm going for Aston Villa win at least either of the halves. Marseille, Atalanta, we had a safe bet, and it was over 1.5 goals. Roma, Bayer Leverkusen, I think we had a safe bet. And it was Bayer Leverkusen win or a draw. Chelsea, Tottenham, I think we had a safe bet, and it was over 2.5 goals. If you combine all the safe bets, you get a summation of 2.623 odds. But remember, there are always multiple ways of approaching these bets. Personally, I'm already thinking of 2 ways of approaching these bets. First, Aston Villa, Olympiacos, team Aston Villa win at least 1/2. Marseille, Atalanta over 1.5 goals. If you combine the two into one bet slip, you will have 1.54 odds. Then we have Roma, Bayer Leverkusen win or a draw. That is 1.33. Then Chelsea, Tottenham over 2.5 goals. Second, please. So Roma, Bayer Leverkusen win or a draw. Chelsea, Tottenham over 2.5 goals. You combine that into the second bet slip, you have 1.7. So, or you can just go the extra way and combine all of them into one very safe bet slip. Like not one very safe bet slip, but one big parlay that gives you bigger odds of 2.63. For the value bets, it's up to you to decide how you're going to be betting. Because for every value bet I gave, I think there was analysis, there was a reasoning on how you're supposed to attach them. Personally, I have my own ways of how I'm going to be approaching them. If you really want me to show you that, you're always free to DM me any single time. If I have the time, I'll actually get to view it. And, I'll do what it takes to reply. But because I'm really not active on social media, so it's really unfortunate. You won't be able to get me. Tired as hell. Doing the live stream was boring. But anyway, it was 1 hour, 27 minutes. Yeah. Best way of doing the analysis, by the way. Doing analysis is always boring if you're doing alone, because you're alone most of the times. But at least now I talk. Maybe there's one person viewing me. I don't feel bad. There are those who are going to be complaining. Of course, the video is long. I know it's long. But the choice is yours. If you want to win, you know what to do. If you want to complain, you're always free to complain. There are things I cannot control, and I made a peace with that. I hope to see you in the next stream. Okay, I'm used to ending the stream, so I hope to see you in the next video, which is going to be possibly tomorrow. Yeah, possibly tomorrow. Enjoy your best. Okay, enjoy your day. Exhausted as hell. Tired as hell. So share the video, save the video, subscribe if you have not subscribed, and enjoy your Thursday.